8 outstanding heats have been drawn for Sunday afternoon's Bendigo Cup, the Group 2 Bendigo Cup, where the 8 finalists, or 8 winners I should say, from the heats will go through to the $50,000 winner final next Friday night. And as is always the case, there is plenty of depth in the fields of the Bendigo Cup, and catching up to discuss the Bendigo Cup heats and preview them is the voice of greyhound racing in Victoria these days, in the middle of calling race meetings at Sandown as we record this. Dan Hibberd, thanks for joining us, mate.
All right, Troy. Yeah, pleasure to be with you. And yeah, a bit busy night down here at Sandown as we record this, but really looking forward to the heats of the Cup. And as is always the case, they're strong and they're full of depth. And to get 8 heats again is awesome. And it'll be winners, all the winners going through, which is fantastic to see.
I was being up with the Melbourne Cup last year and end up with a dead heat.
Yeah, well, my first Group 1 calling, and I get a dead heat in the first heat. Like it's you wouldn't believe it, but it was quite remarkable that last year. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that in Bendigo on Sunday. But you never know. Racing's a funny thing.
Yeah, you've got an interesting resume so far with big races. Started off during COVID pretty much, and then you get a dead heat in a Group 1 heat. So it's been colourful so far.
It has. It's been eventful. It hasn't been boring by any stretch of the imagination. So. It's been fun, and I'm not, unfortunately won't be there Sunday to call the heats, but we'll be there on final night on Friday to cover the Cup final and all the other races on the card there. So it's an awesome night. It is really one of the best nights of the year. So looking forward to it.
Well, mate, we'll kick off with race number 3, which is Bendigo Cup Heat number 1. Very even race, I think, with the early sports bet markets. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the runners are under double figures, and the favourite at the moment is Any Time at All for Daniel Pell. I think one thing about this year's series is quite a few locals that are certainly a chance of making their presence felt during the series. But it's the current $3.20 favourite, ahead of One's Obsession at $4.20, Lovad's Bale at $5, and Always a Thrill at $6.50. But the only two in double figures at the moment are Shimmer Sheen and Burns Ability, and they're in terrific form themselves. How did you see heat number 1 of the Bendigo Cup?
Yeah, this is a really even and really good race. I ended up siding with the local in Any Time at All. I thought the win at Horsham 3 runs ago was really good when a short price favourite, and got beaten as a $1.10 pop behind Sierra Foxtrot, and obviously got stood down after that. It's trialled since, gone 23-81. In a Stewards trial. I think it's got a fair bit of talent, this guy. He's only had 12 starts and won 6 of them, and 5 of them have been over this trip. So he knows the track, gets the inside draw. I think he's a decent enough chance from the inside. I thought One's Obsession, Scofflaw and Lover's Bale are probably the other place chances, but I thought the local was a decent chance from box 1.
Has gone 23.58 at Bendigo as well, which will certainly stand in great stead. One's Obsession for Jess Hopkins, as you said, has gone 24.58, which is around that 23.58 mark at sale that equates to the Bendigo run, and it's certainly the one. I think 1 and 8, one of those two will win heat number 1. So I've pretty much gone the same, mate. 1, 8, 4 and 2 as you. Heat number 2 of the Bendigo Cup is race number 4, and another open race with True Kalinda being $2.60 favourite currently, ahead of Robbie Rotten at $4.40, Zara's Ivan at $4.60. Can True Kalinda win again? It's had the 4 starts here at Bendigo for 3 wins, has gone 23.55. Can True Kalinda win for Jason Thompson?
Yeah, I've picked it on top. I've gone 2, 4, 7 and 6. I thought its win the other at Bendigo 23.74 from the Pink was a really good run. It went its best time 23.55 from this draw, so it certainly holds no fears, the inside draw for it. I'm expecting it to be really hard to beat. I think Aston Profit might come out pretty quick from the inside early and might, even if it began better than True Kalinda, it might even just get a nice run behind it into that down the back straight the first time. If Robbie Rotten was race fit, I would have thought he'd have to be a serious prospect, but I just don't know where he's at. He hasn't raced since July, so that's the issue with him. Zara's Ivan's certainly been racing in the best races around, but box 7, I don't know whether that's entirely going to suit his racing. And I thought Piebird was a smoky for a place. It resumed with a good second in quick time, and then was good in the final that in a grade 5 behind, wrote the script after that. So Doesn't obviously mind the track here at Bendigo, but I went 2, 4, 7 and 6.
I went 2, 7, 6 and 1. I think Drew Glender's got the runs on the boards and very hard to go past from Zara's Ivan. He said racing in top quality. Pie Bird has probably got the capability with a clear run of running in the 2360s. And Yanathi Bales, a ground as well, been racing against the likes of Hilltop Johnny and Typhoon Semi and racing well. And Aston Prophet's got pace to put itself in the race. So another good race with depth, but I went 2, 7, 6 and 1. Race 5 on Sunday at 7:17, a late Sunday afternoon meeting, Bendigo Cup Heat number 3. And Plaintiff is the even money favourite. Couldn't have been more impressive at Ballarat during the week. It's $1.70 with some agencies, $2 with others. $2 is the top odds at the moment. It dominates this market ahead of Nikolai Bale at $8, Quinlan Bale $8, Gypsy Yankee, the veteran $8, and Whiskey Road at $9.50. Plaintiff off the Ballarat run during the week. Can it get beat?
I can't see it losing, to be honest. If it jumps as well as it did at Ballarat, I just think they're going to be racing for second money. He's been in super form. Like, you go back through all his runs, his only defeat was at Wentworth Park behind French Martini, and he's won 6 in a row or 7 in a row before that. So he's just flying. I think he's probably. I think he might be a favourite in the all-in market for the series. If he's not, he'd have to be very close to it. I think he's going to be really hard to beat. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Quinlan Bale. I think he's a really nice type. He's probably just struck one that might be a touch better than him at this stage. Nikolai Bale will certainly use the red to its advantage, but I just don't think it's going well enough to figure as a winner. And Ultimate Avenger, I thought, was a rough first 4 chance. But I thought that Plaintiff was probably one of the more likely ones to get through to the final.
As you said, it's only fault in its recent form was behind French Martini, who broke the Gardens record in heat of the Blacktop last week, and will probably start favourite in that race on Friday night. And I think Plaintiff's the runner to beat. It's $5.50 pre-post for the final at the moment, and $2.15 a place. This is 114 from 25, only unplaced 5 times. 25-0 something at Ballarat on Wednesday night. It's the one to beat. Plaintiff, probably gone Nikolai Bale for second, putting Whiskey Road for third, and Security Man for fourth, but a very open race behind Plaintiff. Heat number 4 of the Bendigo Cup is, as we're going to say quite a lot during this preview, is a very open race. But I'm talking current favourite $3.60. Had a Salad Dodger at $4.20. Power Buddy at $3.70, the second pick, and Red Reactor at $4.50. So those 4 are the main 4 in the market. Power Buddy, obviously the defending champ, but certainly not going as good as what he was, despite the fact that he did run 23.81, getting beat behind Matt's Hope last start. Can he produce his best in the heat on Sunday?
It's going to be hard for him from the 5 as the sticking point for him. If he did jump and get out in front, I don't know whether there'd be one good enough to beat him in this race, but you just don't know whether he's going to ping away from the lids. If he does, he's going to be hard to beat. I'm with Salad Dodger. I thought his win the other day at Bendigo was really good from box 4, 23 and 69. He's won 9 of 25, and he's won 1 out of 3 over this trip as well. So I thought it was a really tough effort. I think he's at that price, he's probably the bet. I think he can win and beat Power of Buddy. I mean, Red Reactor, number 7, for Daniel Pell, I think it's a decent chance as well. And Aston Marvel is a rough chance for its first 4. So I went 2 to beat 5, 7 and 6. I
went for a little bit of a bolter here in Vermont Bale. I just think he's drawn actually to get a reasonable run from box number 3, and he's going to be nice and hard to beat. You go back to the 2.5 length third behind Panama Canal, running 24.67, getting beat at Sale. So the one run here for a third, which will certainly help with the experience. I think Vermont Bale currently at $10 is a nice each way bet ahead of Salad Dodger. Red Reactor in for third and Power Buddy in for fourth, and you're leaving out dogs like I'm Talking shows the depth of heat number 4. Heat number 5 has a short price favourite in Typhoon Semi, track record holder from last year. He's got box number 1. He's a current $2.15 favourite with Sportsbet. Ahead of Aston Exceed at $3.90, the Gold Rush winner. Then you've got Mapunga Mustang at $6 and double figures the rest. Is Typhoon Semi, he's going terrific, he's going as good as ever. Is he the one to beat again, mate?
I don't know. I'm just not sure what what box one will mean for him. I know he won the race from box one last year. There's a bit of speed on his outside, and if they sort of squeeze him up at the start, it might make it a bit interesting. I've actually put Aston Exceed on top. I think he's a rare talent. I think he's won 8 of 10, 4 out of 4 over this trip, winning the Gold Rush series. I think he's a very, very strong type. He's going to have to be to try and beat Typhoon Sammy. But I just think if Typhoon doesn't quite nail the start, he could be in a bit of trouble. So I went 3 to beat 1. I thought Hilltop Johnny was a decent chance as well, particularly if he can get away well at the start. And Cybertruck number 7 for 4th. But I'm keen on Aston Exceed to cause a bit of an upset.
I've got 1, 3, 4 and 5. I just think his inside box record, despite the fact he doesn't want to race centre of the track, his inside box record is faultless. And his record here, obviously, his only defeat was running 3rd in the Cup. I've got into bet Aston Exceed, who is attempting to be the first Gold Rush winner to win the Gold Rush in the Cup, and I think he's probably the best chance to do it. He's the main danger. Mapunga Mustang could be hitting the line nice and hard with a bit of pace up front, and Hilltop Johnny for 4th, 1, 3, 4 and 5. But a very good race of high speed between the experienced Typhoon Semi and pretty much the up-and-comer in Aston Exceed. Heat number 6 is race number 8, and we're looking at the champ Ferdinand Boy up against the informed sprinter Action Girl. New South Wales visitor Devil Dodger. Keep It Black, a $4.60 second pick behind Action Girl, who's $3.60, and Zigzag Kabang, a local at $4.80, and Nicholson Bale at $5. 6 or 7 chances according to the market. How did you see this one, mate?
Yeah, this is a ripper race. I put Action Girl on top. I just think she's been really strong of late. She's had 2 starts there at Bendigo for a win and a third, 29 and 70. 23 and 75 at best time. She's won 20 of 31. So she's got an amazing strike rate. Beat Zigzag Bang last time out. I think she's a good chance of winning the start, and if she can do that, she's going to be hard to beat. Ferdinand Boy is my second selection. His last 2 just haven't been as good as we know he can, and he's probably going to put egg in my face and come out and blow him away on Sunday. But I've gone just with the new one on the scene, and then out to Keep It Black from the red draw is going to get a lovely run. I thought it might be a place chance. And Zigzag Kabang, who's just he's a country marvel. He's won so many races. He's won 29 of 57, won 2 of 4 over this track. He seems to have more of an affinity with the Horsham circuit, but he can certainly, if he gets the right sort of run, he could certainly figure that top 6 is probably not his best draw.
I've got a little bit wide myself again here. I've got 8, 4, 3 and 1. I've got Nicholson Bale from box number 8 for Daniel Gibbons. Was only narrowly beaten by Titan Blazer here 2 starts back. Was a favourite on that occasion, but has run the 23.75 here. I don't think the draw poses much of a problem for Nicholson Bale. Over Action Girl, who you just can't fault. The form's just been absolutely flying. Ferdinand Boy, it's hard to leave a dog out with his record, but his last couple have been disappointing. But David will certainly won't be sitting around unless he's ready to be nice and competitive and potentially make another Cup final and Keep It Black for 4th. But there's probably another 2 grounds that you can consider for your multiples. But I've gone 8, 4, 3 and 1. In heat number 7, another tough one, mate. My Neo's a $3 favourite. Ahead of Matt's Hope at $5, Axdale Pirate $5.50, Panadero Warrior $5.50, Titan Blazer at $4.40. So a very even market again. How did you see heat number 7?
Yeah, this is the heat of the night for me in terms of evenness. This is probably the hardest one to narrow down. I ended up going with Matt's Hope. I thought it was a good win at Warrnambool last time. It's had 3 starts here at Bendigo for 2 wins and a second, 23 and 48, its best run. I thought it's been in a really good form of late. I just think that to get the clear enough run, it's going to be really hard to beat. I thought that it would win. My Neo's been racing really consistently here at Sandown. Was 4th at Bendigo behind Titan Blazer in that race. There was a few good ones go around. I think he's a decent chance as well. Titan Blazer from the outside, who won that race back on the 16th of September in 23.83, has been going super well. And Panadero Warrior, who had a picket fence form a little while ago, hasn't been too far away of late either. That's why it's such a hard heat to sort of narrow down. I went 4, 6, 8 and 3, but not with a great deal of confidence that my top tip is a guaranteed winner.
It's a very open race. Whatever you like here, certainly don't let me or you turn them off. I've gone 4, 8, 6 and 7. I think Matt's Hope's the one to beat. As you said, his record here is enormous. He's run 23.48 here in the past. He's won 2 and a second from 3 starts. I think he's the leader and the one to beat from Titan Blazer, who is always thereabouts in these types of races. My Neo for 3rd and Usman Bale for 4th. And heat number 8, which is race number 10 on Sunday evening. Revolution the favourite at 280, ahead of Silver Brute at 380 and Orson Mick at 460. Your numbers here, mate, in heat number 8.
I've gone 4, 3, 1 and 2. This is probably I was confident with this as a Quinella as anything. I think Silver Brute will get out and lead. I think Revolution will get a beautiful run across, and I think we'll run over the top weight. So Quinella Exacta, I think that might be the way to go. I'm pretty confident with Revolution. I think he's going to be really hard to beat here. 24 and 92 at Terrelgan last time. Comes to Bendigo for the first time, but I don't think that'll hold any fears. He's won 12 of 23 with 6 minor placings and went 29 at 20 at Sandown back in July. So he's got a lot of speed, and he's got a bit of class about him too. So I've gone with the 4 to beat the 3. Also mixed from the inside, should get a lovely run. And I thought that the local Willpower for Dan Pels had a decent top 4 chance. They've obviously thrown me in the deep end here, but he's been very consistent. He did win a free-for-all event at Bendigo in 23.97, beating Master Benja back in the middle of September. So he's in reasonable form, but this is a big test for him. But confident with the 4 beating the 3.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, mate. I think it's Quinella to finish off the heats in 4 and 3. I've gone 4, 3, 1 and 2, but it wouldn't surprise me if 3 pinches the break and beats 4. But Revolution on top to beat Silver Brute, Orson Mick, and as you said, the local Willpower. And it's appropriate we did this preview during the Sandown meeting talking about the locals. There's been 3 so far: Ian Garland, Mick Chilcott and Bob Douglas getting the cash, and Ray Hennis rugs up the favourite in the last. So with a bit of luck, we might have 4 Bendigo winners in town on the Thursday night, a couple of nights before the Bendigo Cup heat, and fingers crossed for a few of the locals to be nice and competitive there as well. Thanks for your time, mate, and we will catch up with you during the week leading into the Cup final and discuss the Cup final, the Battlers Cup final, the Spring Cup final, the Vicbred Maiden final, the match race and all the other supporting races then. Thanks very much for joining us, mate.
No worries, mate. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.